Greetings, fellow space nerds, humans of Earth, and beyond. I'm Cornelius, back again with more Starfield shipbuilding. Today, I have build number 159, Centaurian One, the visual embodiment of Centurian Arsenal, the United Colonies' premier weapons dealer. Commissioned by Anya Griffon herself, Centaurian One will serve as Centurian Arsenal's mobile field office and showroom. The bespoke weapons sales floor, combined with large cargo stores, will allow Centurion Arsenal to directly supply the United Colonies. Centaurian One's extensive weapons loadout, quad-loop shield generator, and Triton boost drives will ensure the ship can reach even the furthest United Colonies outposts. My fellow spaceship enthusiasts, we meet again. I definitely channeled some Corellian vibes with this ship. She is also another ASC Deimos mod showcase. This was one of my early design ideas after that mod debuted, but I knew I needed to iterate on it to get the best result, and I am quite happy with the way she turned out. And of course, I hope you are too. Anyways, let's check her out. I really love the way the parts from this ASC Deimos mod fit together. The Wiz did a hell of a job, hell of a bang-up job on this mod. I do wish there was a way to show these ailerons some type of movement. I think, vertically, say 30 degrees in each direction would be pretty sweet. Same with these kind of rear thrust directors, if you would, that I used the ASC Deimos wings to kind of carve out for the main engines. I wish those could articulate a little bit, just while the ship's in flight. I think that would be quite a cool visual, very similar to a lot of the ships in Star Citizen. I do think this overall profile could definitely fit into a Corellian YT line of, light freighter, with just maybe a minor tweaks. Gotta love the Star Wars stuff. A lot of new shipbuilding mod updates coming or have just dropped, so that's definitely pretty exciting. Another stern view here. Can you tell I'm pretty pleased with it? Anyway, that's an exterior. Let's check out this interior. We enter into pretty standard these days Owltech 1x1 Docker hab. Now, I figure Centurion Arsenal is going to run with some type of security package, so we've set this up for light squad of UC Marines with their suits and weapons down here in our first of two Owltech Docker habs. We'll now head up past our main floor to that second Owltech Docker Hab. In this one, I've spec'd it out for suits for the crew. I figured keeping them separate from their security detail made sense. Of course, there's our Docker. And back down to our main floor. This is a Matilija 1x1 that I fully customized. This half of it is a bit of a reception area for any potential customers. We've got a little coffee maker there and a small seating area. Trying to come up with what a mobile gun dealer's ship might look like has been definitely fun. Up here we've got a small but very well equipped med bay with a full med bed, as well as a couple seats with an auto dock and a good amount of supplies. All of course supplied by Reliant Medical. And here is the whole reason for the bird, our weapons showroom. This was definitely the most fun part about doing this interior. This is another empty 1x1 Matilija Hab, so everything that you see in here is done by yours truly. I tried to put a decent amount of weapons in here that you would generally see in the United Colonies. We've got that L-shaped weapons counter, as well as a weapons workstation there. Little ordering kiosk. Of course, we need a register. And there's just enough space to get back here. We've got ammunition and some storage back here. Of course, every gun store has a back room. So in our back room here, we have our safes. We have a weapons parts fabricator, so we can do some repairs. And of course, plenty more storage and ammunition. This is definitely one of my favorite full custom Habs I think I've done so far. And exiting our weapons sales floor, we move back into this reception Hab. On the other side of the med bay, we have a guest bathroom. I guess you can call it a guest bathroom. It's a bathroom. Moving forward, we enter into our Stroud Premium walkway. We can see our quad loop shield generators. Pretty cool. Now we enter the crew quarters. This is a Stroud Premium 2x1 all-in-one that I have rather heavily customized, and yet another different way to customize this Hab. But I'm still having fun with it, so that's all that matters. You'll see some similar design ideas that I've repeated a little bit here, but it's definitely different enough from previous iterations. Since I do not use place stores yourself, the game placed a door here that I didn't want. But I actually think, that made me come up with a different way to add those extra 2 beds back in there. And I think it came out pretty nice looking. And heading back across to our port side. This is a Stroud Premium 2x1 Captain's Quarters. Already comes very well furnished, so I just added a little bit of stuff. Nice little cred tank with almost 500,000 credits in it. Nice. Not too much to add in these habs because they are very well done in their vanilla forms. And continuing forward, we enter into a Falkland Systems 1x1 living space, which I'm using as a lounge. So not necessarily for the crew, but more for customers that we're entertaining. And now we enter into a Falkland 2x1 control station. Not a whole lot of spaces to add stuff here, just because the hab's already so done. I never did like that seating area, so I put a bunch of server stacks in there. Still, Falkland, fantastic mod, just got updated, which we'll be featuring here soon enough. And now, our bridge. This is the Tiger Shipyards Phobos version. It's a little bit different inside and has different stats for sure. So I've added a couple stuff and things here and there, but overall pretty vanilla looking. Of course, we have a cockpit shoddy, and that is an interior. I had a lot of fun doing this one up. Let's build her. And as usual, here is our mod list and load order. If the mod has a green check next to it, it is active in my load order. And if there's a thumbs up next to it, the mod is needed for this build. Here are the parts that you'll need to complete this bird, as shown, of course. If you have not updated Falkland Systems, you will still need to go to New Atlantis, to their showroom, to grab the couple habs that I used. If you have updated the Falkland Systems mod, all of the Falkland parts should be in your outpost shipbuilder. So that is a nice new update. Step 1. Walkable spaces. This is our bridge, our habs, our docker, and the bay. Step 2. The bow. There's a lot of mirroring going on with this step, so should not be too difficult to get these merges in the orientations that I got them. Of course, build however you like. Step 3. We'll just be working our way towards the stern. This section we will build out our amidships area. Now I've left this section intact because this does mirror the other side, which we will build right now. Now I use this Gillibrand spacer attached like so in order to get these Nova braking engines in the right, just poking out enough to make it look visually proper along the lines of the ship. So if you feel that doesn't need to be there, then that might be a step you can skip. There's also a few steps in this build where I use these Antares squares more as spacers, just to get the lines and profile right, like I'm doing here. Man, I really do wish there was a way to get these small, ailerons to move, up and down just a little bit. Just kind of like a passive, while you're flying the ship, they move, in accordance to the inputs that you're putting into the game. I don't know how difficult that would be, but I know it's definitely doable. Some smart and talented person just has to do it. Anyway. Now, here I'm setting up these decorative shields so we can see them through our Stroud Premium walkway with all the glass in there. Now, setting them all up was difficult because an interesting thing happens. As you can see, that top attachment space disappears. Man, I cannot talk tonight. I apologize. So yeah, getting this orientation how I wanted it definitely was difficult. I had to play around as I'm doing here. Eventually, I got it. I don't know if it was sheer determination or just boredom, but I got the orientation how I wanted it just by messing around like this. Of course, these interior windows are not structurally part of the build at all. I just think they make a pretty cool addition. So this is how I did that. And then of course here on the bottom is the exact same thing we just did, just flipped. Step 4. This is going to be our starboard, kind of middle of the road quadrant of dorsal and ventral parts. We're going to start off with our reactor placement here and continue from there. I just decided to stick our primary fuel stores right there for no particular reason. Of course, you can sneak those Matilja fuel cells in pretty much anywhere. If you are running into parts limits, or you're just not running maybe all the mods I am, you could definitely reduce your parts usage by eliminating all of these armor trim pieces, as well as the plates if you want. That would reduce your parts number pretty significantly. Of course, your hull numbers would decrease as well, but however you want to play the game is totally up to you. Step 5. This is going to be our port midway quadrant. The same idea we just did. Most of it will mirror. Step 6. This is going to be our stern main line, as well as our main drive unit and our rear thrust diverters, vectorers. I know that's not a word, but it felt fun to make it up. So they are thrust vectorers. And here's another example of using the Antares squares as spacers, which they make very, very good use of. This was another weird attachment thing here, but we make it work. And then we will attach that Antares square to this Trinity square to get this merge right here. And here's our secondary fuel container, and our thrust vectorers. And step 7. This is the engines and the rest of the stern. Now these sides do mirror each other 100%, so I've left one intact for the sake of time and for reference for me. And we are now going to piece together our starboard side. And with this last part, we button up the stern of this bird. I think all of the merges came out quite well on this one. but I'm especially happy with the stern and just how these engines sit kind of tucked in. I really like the way these forward ailerons came out, the overall profile. Yeah, I'm a fan. Hope you guys are too. Let's take her for a quick combat tour. If you made it this far, hell yeah, you rock. I appreciate you very much. This was, as I mentioned, an early idea right after the ASC Deimos mod debuted, and I had the overall shape in the builder for quite a while, and a good amount of tinkering and iterations later, we have the bird you see here. I am going to get into some of the mod updates that I know that are coming. Falkland Systems 2.0 just dropped. I know the Antares Foundry mod is getting a major upgrade. Believe Tiger Shipyards has something in the works as well. Matilija is always cooking. And the future of Starfield shipbuilding is bright. And I am many excited. My next bird is an absolute beast. I will do my best to get that post up within a week, but we'll see. I'm Cornelius. You can find me in the Star Yard